Hey guys, it's Mark here and welcome to this ETF analysis series done on a very sunny day. So I've just come back in after a little break and then I've got to get straight back to work on couple of projects, few projects, for tonight and a little bit more over the weekend. But I have some time right now to actually go through some of the ETFs that have been on the request list. So I'm going to share my screen and what we're going to see here is the forum, the ETFtracker forum, and there is this video review list that people have either been sending requests through to, and I've been adding them to the list, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, you can do that. But the next one is EMKT. So this is an emerging market ETF. So we're over here at ETFtracker. I could have gone to that from the same page, but I thought I'd do it from here. So from scratch, you get to ETFtracker. You can click on the Access ETF Analytics. So that goes to the ETFtracker app page. And when that loads, we're going to go full screen. And we're going to go to the ETF Snapshots, which is where we house all of this stuff. And it's defaulting to alphabetical order, AC/DC. It's one of the top ones there. EMKT was the request, and that is from Van Eck. How do we know that? Because we can see with the data, it is all there in front of you. So it's equity emerging markets as the category that the ASX and Chi-X have for that. Fun fact, today is the 8th. It's Friday. We had the Exchange Traded Funds newsletter that came out today. We also were in Livewire today when this is being recorded. So check that out if you are interested in income. I'll do more on that particular article later on, but this one, EMKT, E-Market, covers the MSCI EM Emerging Market Diversified Multiple Factor Aussie Dollar Index. It's got 219 holdings. If we take a look at those holdings, the biggest holdings are, here we go, Taiwan Semiconductor, Infosys, United Microelectronics Corp, and Leaning China Construction Corp. 28% of the top 10, 28% is the weighting that its top 10 has of the overall ETF. So that's something worth looking at there. And then there's 219 of them, and you can scroll down the list to see more. In terms of performance, it's only recently been doing well. So it's had this troubled kind of performance history over 2019 and 2020. We can see the profile here of how that has trended, and it's had quite a few negative months and a recent negative month in July. So we'll see what that looks like for September when those numbers come out. And that's why it's had that cumulative negative performance up until more recently, okay? And the latest month was nearly 3% in terms of returns. In terms of inflows, it's got 0 as its latest inflow. So it's just had this kind of choppy inflows kind of profile. It was even having some outflows after it first listed, okay? And we can see here what that has looked like over time. This one might actually be a data anomaly, why there's those zeros there. So we will check it with the data, but if you are looking at this later on, expect that to be updated if there is anything there. But sometimes we do see these net zero kind of inflows. So there's nothing that's gone in or out, and that can happen. Transactions, it's only been traded 152 times in August, so it's not traded that much. So this is not like a big popular one in terms of retail traders, it seems. Only 152 times. The volumes are 121K, and 2.7 million was the latest value for the month of August. And you can see here those volumes and that value, what that profile looks like in August. It is well off where its highs have been. It is trending up in terms of trade, so it was even being traded lower than the amounts that we're seeing right now. So it's in the hundreds, but still, okay? And then the bid-ask spread, and we can see that that is here, has been getting lower slowly and slowly. It is at 0.22%. Its monthly liquidity is not as high, but if you are after this kind of exposure and it is a long-term kind of hold, then you could be okay there, okay? What we've got here is quality as well. We can see the dividend yield, it's in the low 1.64%. So that's distribution yield. So not necessarily something you are chasing after for that dividend income. Total returns, which is what we're seeing on this first tile here, incorporates dividends and distributions. So in ETF world, it's called distributions, and you pay 0.69% MER for this one. So the ways that you can look at more detail there, you can either go to the fund website, you can click on this button and it takes you to the fund website. Okay, and you can see more information here from Van Eck. So you can see performance, you can look at dividends, there's even some portfolio analytics if you want to look at that kind of information there as well. And then the other part is that you can also go to the Google Finance page, which will have more up-to-date data. And we can see that's on the 1 day. So we go to 6 month. We can see how that's looked over 6 months, over a year, over 5 years. If it's, you know, how far it goes back, it only goes back to 2018. So 13th of April, 2018. Now you can click on these other comparisons to see how it compares to other emerging market or other types of ETFs. And you can even type those in if you want, if you were after a particular ETF to compare it to. So that's all there. Anyway, all available on ETFtracker. We make it easy for you to look up and do this sort of analysis. We've done this one for you. We will go to the next one later on. Take care.